Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time you are coming across this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever we drop content. On this channel, we drop meaningful and educational contents back to back. And to my returning subscribers, I want to say a big thanks to you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your trust. Without wasting more time, let's dive into today's content. They thought the fire was gone, that the prince had fallen and the throne was safe. But flames do not die in silence. They wait, they smolder, and then they rise. In the mountains beyond the capital, where the clouds kiss the cliffs and even the birds sing in whispers, the Queen Mother watched over her wounded grandson. Nzinga Mvemba had survived the traitor's blade, but his body was weak and his spirit was fading. For weeks he drifted between dreams and memories of his father's laugh, of his mother's smile, of the moment he first held his father's pendant and declared, "I will restore Kongo." But now, with his crown stolen, his army scattered, and his people afraid, Nzinga said nothing, not even to his grandmother. Until one morning, just before the sun climbed the hills, an old man arrived at their camp, barefoot, wrapped in tattered cloth, and leaning on a carved walking stick. No one knew him, but the Queen Mother did. He was Makoko, the last of the King's high priests, the one who once anointed kings with sacred oils and whispered blessings into the ears of gods. He knelt beside Nzinga and said, "Get up, my king, get up, my king. The land still remembers you. The ancestors are not finished with your name." Nzinga opened his eyes, and in them burned something new, not the fire of vengeance, but the flame of purpose. In secret, Nzinga began to train again. Each morning he walked barefoot through the forest, bleeding where the rocks cut his feet. Each night he studied the ancient laws of Kongo with Makoko by firelight. He learned not just how to fight, but how to lead. And in that hidden cave above the world, the flame that had once flickered now roared like the sun. Meanwhile, back in the royal city, Kiala had taken his reward. The regent declared him a hero and placed a golden crown upon his head. But Kiala soon learned what betrayal buys. Nothing but fear. The people did not cheer for him. The markets went quiet when he passed. The children spat when they heard his name. Because though he sat on a throne, his shadow had no weight. And whispers filled the city once again. The prince still lives. The flame has returned. Nzinga walks again. One night, Nzinga sent out messengers dressed as beggars and traders. They traveled to every province, every fishing village, every blacksmith's forge. They carried a simple message carved into wood. The lion walks, the crown burns, Kongo must rise. And rise it did. Farmers hid weapons beneath their baskets. Hunters trained in silence. Even elders too old to fight began singing the forbidden songs of the old kingdom by night. A movement was reborn, not with fire or sword, but with faith. Nzinga returned not with an army, but with a nation. Then came the day the people called the Day of Ashes. Nzinga walked into the capital unarmed, wearing only the robe of his father and the pendant of kingship. The guards who had once hunted him dropped their spears. The people who had once whispered his name now chanted it aloud. "Kongo! Mvemba! Kongo! Mvemba! Kongo!" Kiala tried to flee, but the people seized him, not with rage, but with justice. And before the gathered crowds, Nzinga Mvemba did not seek revenge. He raised Kiala's stolen crown, placed it on the fire, and said, "Let the crown burn, for this kingdom will no longer be ruled by gold, but by truth." And so the lion returned, not to conquer, but to heal, not to take, but to give. And from the flames of betrayal, a true king was born. Join us tomorrow for the final episode in this arc. Episode 6, Nzinga, the Reformer.